Hi, everyone, and welcome to the guided meditations of Marcus Aurelius. I am your host, John Stillman. This episode is a nighttime episode about humility for those that are interested in cultivating a balanced view of themselves and approaching life with openness to learning and growth. If you're new to the podcast, a nighttime episode is meant for you to listen to right before you go to sleep, as opposed to in the middle of the day or the morning. If you want to listen to the humility episode and get on with your day afterwards, you want the daytime episode. Before we get started, I highly recommend listening to the journaling episode on humility if you haven't already done so. The reason for this is it helps you put some definition on how this topic relates to your life. Okay, let's cover some ground rules. First off, understand that this is a guided meditation episode. This podcast is designed to help you relax to a very deep level. So you should only listen to it in a place where you would feel comfortable sleeping for at least the next 30 to 45 minutes. Do not listen to this while you are driving or sitting on a bus. Otherwise, you can potentially injure yourself or someone else, or you might miss your stop. Be mindful of where you listen to this and pick a place that is safe for you to do so. I would also highly suggest going to the toilet before we get started because that can become a huge distraction. If you need to do that now, just hit pause and come back after you're done. Lastly, I'm always looking to improve these episodes, so if there's a particular Stoic principle you would like to implant into your subconscious in the future, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to make an episode on it going forward. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. So, find a spot to sit or lay down. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and get ready to relax. Listen carefully to sounds that you may hear around you. Are there sounds of people? Sounds of animals? Maybe even sounds of wind or traffic? Not all of those sounds are important for you to hear while you're listening to this. Things that are alerting you of an emergency are important. But any other sounds can actually help you sink deeper into relaxation. So let those unimportant sounds drift into the background, away from your awareness, and let them help you reach deeper down into a wonderful, relaxed state. Let the unimportant sounds fade away into background noise, and let them do their job to help you relax. As you continue to relax, I'd like you to imagine your center core. The center core is different for every person, but it is wherever you feel is the center of your body. Some people believe it's in their solar plexus, and some people feel it's in their forehead. But wherever you feel is the center of your body, I'd like you to imagine that spot now. Now imagine what it might look like to pull all of your energy deep down into your center core. Whatever that might be like for you, you decide. Now imagine that you have little bits of energy in different places you've spent time over the last 24 hours, and imagine pulling all of that energy back from those places and pulling it deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body, and imagine floating to the wall that's in front of you. Imagine touching it
and feeling the texture with your fingers. Then float back to your body and pull yourself deep, deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body and floating to the wall behind you. Imagine touching the wall there. Now imagine floating back and pulling yourself deep, deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body and floating to the wall on your left. Imagine touching the wall there. Now imagine floating back and pulling yourself deep, deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body and floating to the wall on the right. Imagine touching the wall there. And now imagine floating back and pulling yourself deep, deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body and floating down to the floor. Perhaps to look up at yourself, wonderfully relaxed. Now imagine floating back and pulling yourself deep, deep down into your center core. Now imagine floating up out of your body and floating to the ceiling if there is one, or maybe 10 feet into the air if there's not. Then imagine floating down, back and forth like a feather, down and back and forth, as you slowly drift down. And imagine pulling yourself deep, deep down into your center core. And while
As you listen
words
now, you may
drift
notice that your mind
through
is
the air,
already doing what it
you
does
might
best.
notice how
Processing
sound
information,
itself
organizing ideas,
can feel soft
making sense of
or
things in
distant,
a logical way. There's nothing
as if
mysterious or
each word
complicated happening here.
were a leaf
This is
floating
simply a
gently
sequence.
past.
One step leading
You don't
naturally
need
to
to
the
follow
next.
every sentence.
You don't have to try to relax.
You can let them
In fact,
wash over
effort
you
isn't required at all.
like warm water
Your only
over
task
smooth
is
stone,
to notice.
finding their
Notice
own way.
that you're hearing words.
Perhaps
Notice
you become
that
aware
you're
of the weight
understanding them.
of your body,
And notice that
how gravity
understanding happens
holds you
automatically
perfectly
without effort.
without effort,
That's how your mind works.
without instruction.
Now,
Consider
there may be
this
a
simple
sense
fact of settling,
when your body
like
is still.
snow falling,
The mind has fewer
quietly
variables to
covering
manage.
the ground,
And when the mind has fewer
layer
variables, it
by
becomes more
layer,
efficient until
more
everything
focused, feels
more receptive.
still
You may already
calm.
observe small changes.
Your
a
breathing
slower
can
rate of
become
thinking,
a tide now,
longer pauses
rolling
between
in
thoughts,
and
a
rolling
sense
out
of completion
with
as
its own
each idea
natural
ends.
rhythm.
It's not
Each
something
breath
you need to control.
creating a
It's
gentle
simply the
wave
natural
of
outcome
ease spreading
of
through
reduced
your chest,
mental workload.
your
Your breathing
shoulders,
is a good example.
your arms,
You don't calculate
all
it,
the way down
yet it follows
to
a
your
predictable
fingers.
rhythm.
You might
Imagine
in
a place
and
where
out,
time feels wide and unhurried,
balance,
place where
consistent,
nothing is expected of you, where you
reliable.
can simply be. And just like breathing,
Colors may
relaxation
appear,
follows rules too,
or textures,
muscles that are
or
not
just
needed.
a feeling,
Release
a soft
tension,
sense of
thoughts
safety and comfort
that are not required,
that
fade
doesn't need words.
into the background. Your mind
And as one
recognizes
image fades,
efficiency, and
another
efficiency
can
feels
take its
calm.
place.
Now,
Or
you
not,
may find it interesting
because
to note
even drifting
that
is
while one
perfectly
part of your
fine.
mind is listening to these words,
You may notice that thoughts
another part is
begin
already
to move
checking them
like
for
clouds,
accuracy.
forming,
Everything being said here makes
changing
sense.
shape,
You are safe.
and dissolving,
You are in
all on their
control.
own,
And you are simply
leaving
allowing
more
a temporary
and
shift
more
in attention.
open sky.
Nothing is being forced.
There's no need
Nothing is being lost.
to hold on to anything.
In fact,
The
awareness
ground
becomes
beneath you
more
precise.
knows how to support.
You may notice that the air
Time
around
feels
you
slightly different,
knows how to carry
not
sound,
faster or
and
slower,
your mind knows
just less important.
how to sink
And as
gently
each sentence
inward.
completes itself, there's
Some
no
people
need
notice
to hold on to it.
a pleasant heaviness.
Your mind can release
Others,
it, a light
and move
floating
smoothly to the
ease.
next one.
That's
And
how
some
systems work
simply
best.
a quiet softness
One completed task
that spreads
at a time, exactly where it's
So,
needed. Without analyzing it too deeply, you just
And in this
recognize
space,
this, where nothing has
your
to be
conscious
decided,
mind can rest,
where nothing
because
needs fixing. Everything is functioning exactly
you
as it should.
can allow yourself
And you allow
to
yourself
drift
to
just a
continue
little
listening
deeper as
comfortably,
comfort
calmly,
continues to unfold
and efficiently
in its own
as this process
perfect
continues.
way. And now, without needing to do anything at all, you can allow this experience to deepen naturally. There's nothing to achieve here, nothing to fix, just a gradual unwinding that happens on its own. You may begin to notice a general sense of release, as if effort is no longer required. As if things that were being held no longer need to be. And that release can spread, not in any particular direction, just everywhere it's welcome. Imagine slowly turning down a dial, just one small adjustment at a time. Each turn softening the overall experience, making everything quieter, lower, more settled. With each breath, you may notice a subtle shift, not dramatic, just enough to feel that you're moving further inward. There's a difference between paying attention and needing to pay attention. And right now, attention can become effortless. Thoughts don't need to stop. They can simply lose importance, like background noise that fades as something calmer moves into the foreground. Now imagine a gentle downward movement, not physical, more like a feeling of depth, as if awareness is sinking into a softer, quieter layer of experience. Each moment builds on the last, like steps that descend so smoothly you hardly notice moving until you realize you're already deeper. If numbers come to mind, they can drift downward now, slowly, comfortably, each one marking a deeper level of ease. 5, settling. 4, slowing. 3, less effort, more comfort. 2, almost no need to think at all. And 1, simply being here. In this state, everything unnecessary has already fallen away. What remains is calm, steady, and receptive. You're happy to stay right here. Because this level, this quiet, settled space is exactly right for whatever comes next. And you can allow yourself to rest here now, comfortably, peacefully, as the work continues. Consider this now gently. There is a quiet strength that grows within a person, a strength that seeks understanding, a strength that remains open, a strength called humility. The Stoics understood something deeply wise. Every person has something to teach. Every day offers something to learn. And wisdom grows through curiosity. Imagine for a moment how much freedom comes from this perspective. You move through life with an open mind. You listen carefully. You observe clearly. You learn continuously. Because humility creates space for growth, and growth feels natural. Now imagine a conversation. Someone shares an idea, perspective, an experience, and you meet it with genuine curiosity. You ask yourself, what can I learn here? Feel how expansive that is. Because each person becomes a teacher. Each experience becomes a lesson. Every day becomes an opportunity to grow wiser. When the mind begins to appreciate this way of being, open, calm, receptive. Imagine now a moment when life presents a challenge. A mistake becomes visible. A lesson appears. And you greet it with composure. You ask, what wisdom is available to me here? And the answer arrives naturally. Because humility welcomes learning. Humility welcomes growth. Humility welcomes truth. Notice how light that feels. You spend your energy on understanding. You invest your attention in improvement. You cultivate the quiet confidence of someone who is always becoming better. And each day, this quality grows stronger. You listen with presence. You speak with care. You learn with enthusiasm. You carry yourself with steady confidence and gentle openness. Now imagine the coming days. Moments of learning appear. Conversations unfold. Experiences offer insight. And effortlessly, you meet them with curiosity. You remain a student of life, a student of wisdom, a student of virtue. When the mind learns, growth is always available. Wisdom is always expanding. Humility is strength, and I choose it. Now, this experience can begin to gently complete itself. Nothing needs to change very much. Just a small shift, enough to notice the present moment while still remaining wonderfully relaxed. Everything that's been helpful can remain quietly in place, continuing to work on its own without effort or attention. Just allow awareness to float slightly closer to the surface. You may notice the space around you in a soft, distant way. Not sharply, just enough to recognize where you are. In a moment, there will be a simple choice to reach out to turn off the podcast and then let go back to sleep again. There's no rush. And after the podcast ends, there's nothing else to listen for, nothing to follow. You can simply rest, drift, and sleep deeply and comfortably as your mind and body continue to settle on their own. I'll count slowly from 1 to 3, not to wake you fully, just to bring enough clarity to move comfortably and easily. 1, a gentle lifting of awareness, like drifting closer to the edge of sleep. 2, just enough alertness to do what you need to do and nothing more. 3, able to turn off the podcast now. And as soon as you do, you can allow yourself to sink right back into sleep. Good night. I will talk to you again soon.